Hey there, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to another presentation of our APBA Tom Seaver 1970 season. This is September 7th, start number 31. And Seaver is 14-13 up to this point. With an ERA, I'd say, I didn't look at it exactly. I was just going to check it, but it's around 3.15. His real ERA was 2.82, so not too bad, not too far off. We can still bring it down and get it within 20-25 points, which is pretty good. And in reality, his wins were 18 and 12. So we have to have a few good games to finish the season. And today we're facing the St. Louis Cardinals. It's going to be the Mets. Nope, wait a second. I have the wrong. Hold on. Here it is. Tom Seaver. It's going to be facing the Cardinals. It's going to be AG in center field. Harrelson, the shortstop. Cleon Jones, the left fielder. And let me show you these cards real quick. These are real nice cards. And you can see how nice and large and easy to read they are. That's one thing that I really love about APBA. Harrelson's batting second. Cleon Jones is in left field, batting third. Batting cleanup is Don Clendenin, the first baseman. Ron Swoboda batting fifth in right field. Batting sixth is Joe Foy, the third baseman. Jerry Grody batting seventh. He's the catcher. Batting eighth is Al Weiss. And it's Tom Terrific. He is a B and an XZ pitcher. And for the Cardinals, it's going to be Lou Brock in left field, followed by Manny Javier, or Julian Javier, Joe Haig at first base, batting third. Batting cleanup is Joe Torre. And where is he? Where is Joe Torre hiding? I had this happen to me one time where I'm right about to get started and the guy disappears. Let's see if he's somewhere in. Joe Torre. Ah, there he is. Okay. And Torre is batting fourth at third base, playing third base. He is a catcher, but then we have Vic Davalillo, who's a 3 outfielder. Pretty impressive. That's the top of the line. Ted Simmons, he's a 5 catcher. That's the Pitts in catching. Then it's Leron Lee. He's okay in right field. And it's Charles Maxville. Dow Maxville. He's a shortstop. He's a above average shortstop with a 9 and a average second baseman. And then it's Jerry Royce batting 9th. He's from St. Louis, Missouri. He's a lefty. Not that that matters. And we're right about to get started. Now, this is the only way to play APBA Basic. You have to use the yellow shaker. This is a really tradition in the APBA folklore, if you will. You got to use the yellow shaker. You got to hear this sound. See that sound? That's critical to playing APBA. And this tells everybody, hey, do not disturb. I am playing APBA right now. Do not mess with me because you will pay the price if you mess with an APBA player when he's playing. So let's set this up. All right, Harrelson, Jones, Glendenin, Swoboda, Foy, Grody, Weiss, and Seaver. Nice big cards, easy to read. It's a lot of fun. It plays very, very quickly. And you'll see that now. Let's get started. And that's going to be a deep drive. First pitch, deep drive off the bat of Tommy Agee. Deep to left center field. Back goes Brock to the track, to the wall. Looks up. That's gone. And that is 1-0 Mets. How nice is that? Tommy Agee connects for Seaver. Here's Buddy Harrelson, a 35. That's ball 4. So they rattled Jerry Royce immediately. Royce is on at first. Here's Cleon Jones with a 26, and that's grounded, hit hard right at Maxville, who flips to Javier, back to first, scooped out by Haig, and that is a 6-4-3 double play, 2 down. Here's Don Clendenin with a 42, and that's ball 4. So early on here, Jerry Royce is struggling with his control. And here's Ron Swoboda with a man on and 2 outs. And that's a fly ball deep right field. Back goes the right fielder, Maxville, and makes, nope, the right fielder, Lee, makes the catch. Let's pick up a run on 1 hit, the home run. And we go to the bottom of the first. Lou Brock, Julian Javier, and Joe Haig. And that is popped up in field, 1 out. Shortstop Harrelson. Next is Javier with a 55, and that's a fly ball to center field. On the run is Agee, and he catches up to it. That's 2 down. And here's Haig. And that's a fly ball to left. 3 up, 3 down for Tom Terrific. Foy is leading off for the Mets here in the top of the 2nd inning. Whoa, it's 1-0 Mets. That's a fly to left. Jerry Grody's next. That's a 35, and that's a ball. And a 12 is grounded to second. Javier over to first, 2 down. And Al Weiss. And he hits one, pulls one down the line. And that is grabbed by the third baseman, Torrey. Across the diamond and gets Weiss by half a step. Check out our new Facebook group. It's the Universal Baseball Association. And you'll see the highlights of everything that goes on in our hobby, in our baseball hobby, our tabletop baseball hobby. I go through all the different sites and I pick different things and I post them so you guys can be entertained. Here's Joe Torre, and that's popped up. That's behind the plate. Catcher Torre throws his mask away and makes the catch. Here's Vic Davalillo, and he drives one. This is in the gap, and this is going to bounce off the wall and rolls away from Agee. Davalillo with good speed is going to try for 3. Here's the relay from second base Weiss, and not in time. That's a triple, a 1-out triple by Vic Davalillo against Tom Terrific. Got a hold of a Seaver fastball and drove it in the gap there in right center field. That rolled all the way to the wall and took a funny bounce off the wall and got a there, Tribe fan. How are you, brother? And that got away from Tommy Agee. And that gave Davalillo a chance to turn a double into a triple. So a nice bounce there for Davalillo. That puts a runner on third base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. Mets are up 1-0. Ted Simmons is up. Ted Simmons, I have a feeling, is going to have a long future in the major leagues. And the infield is back. I don't bring the infield in until the 5th inning. I have a house rule, so I don't have to worry about all that. And then in a close game, I bring it in automatically once it's the 5th inning. Leron Lee, so, and that is a 45. And that first and third with a 14. That may be another walk here, even though Seaver's a Z. Yep, that's going to fill up the bases. So a triple and 2 consecutive walks by Seaver puts him in a bind. This is Seaver's 31st start of the season. Let's put that in there. He's 14 and 13 with about a 3.15 ERA. And here's Maxville with the bases loaded. And that is a 15 and a 9 is going to be a base hit. That's going to score 2 runs off of Seaver. With the bases loaded. Let's see what that becomes. I may be wrong. Single over first, runners advance 1 base. Okay. So an RBI for Dow Maxville, and all the runners move up. Bases are still loaded. 1 out. And here's Jerry Royce. And that's a 53. That's strike 3, and Seaver blows a fastball right by Royce. He looked in shock. And here's Lou Brock. Lou Brock popped up in the 1st inning. This is a big hitter for Seaver right here. See if he can get Lou Brock out. Let's see what happens. And that is going to be a line drive base hit, and that may score a couple of runs. Let's see what happens here. A B, a 7, and that is a single. Wait a second. Now look at the chart here, and that's going to be a single to right, 2 runs score, F to 3rd. Maxville, is he an F? I don't know. Let's see. He is an F, so he's going to go to 3rd. So that was tough for Seaver. That makes the score 3-1. And that's 2 RBIs, driving in the 6th place batter and the 7th place batter. And it's a 3-1 ball game. And going to 3rd is Maxville. So 1st and 3rd with 2 outs, and here's Javier. And Javier with a 22, and that is going to be 1st and 3rd is 7. Holy smokes. Boy, I'm really rolling hit numbers. But that's going to be a fly ball to center field. Will AG catch up to it? And he does. He robs Javier of a base hit there. But the Cardinals pick up 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 walks. And they lead it 3-1. That's a tough inning for Seaver. Here he is batting, and he lifts one to right. Right fielder is Lee, and he grabs it 1 away. Tommy Agee with a 51. That's a base hit, single. So Agee's 2 for 2, having a good day. Smiling to first base, although his team is down. Here's Buddy Harrelson. Doesn't strike out very much, so we're going to try a hit and run. And there he goes, a 44. That's going to be a base hit, and that's going to send Tommy Agee to 3rd base. So Harrelson ripped one to center field, and Agee was on the move. 1st and 3rd, only 1 out. Here's Cleon Jones, and that's a 27, 1st and 3rd. Torrey is only a 3. That's not very good. And a 3 on a 27 is going to be a ground ball to 3rd, unless he's a wide. Pitcher's a wide, so that's a strikeout. 2 outs. Very simple, easy game, and very affordable. If you want, you can get all the extra players you want. They're easy to get a hold of. And here's Don Clendenin. We need some power out of him. We just missed it, but that's going to be ball 4. Shows his patience. And that's going to load the bases for Ron Swoboda. Ron Swoboda has some power as well. He's got a 1 at 66. That's where you want to have a 1. Hey there, guys. RJL is in the house, and Bears Den. And this is 1970 baseball. We got 1 home run so far, RJL. I doubt we're going to see any more. But you never know. Let's see. Hopefully the Mets get one right here with the bases loaded. It's Ron Swoboda. 2 outs, top of the 3rd. Cardinals are up 3-1. This is Seaver's 31st start. He's 14 and 13. In actuality, he was 18 and 12. And his ERA is just off by a few points. All right, here goes. And that is grounded to short. Easy play for Dow Maxville, who flips to Julian Javier. And that retires the side. So the Mets miss a big opportunity. They leave 3. That's no runs and 2 hits. And it's going to be Joe Haig against Tom Terrific. Here's a fastball from Tom, and that's lined to center field. And right there is AG, one away. Joe Torre next with a 53. That's going to be we're going to look for the APBA baseball randomizer. It becomes a 34, and that's going to be a 15. Our left fielder is Jones. Not too bad. Let's see if he makes his catch or drops in front of him for a single. This represents his range. The 15 numbers represent errors and range for the outfielders. And it is going to drop in front of Cleon Jones. So Joe Torre's on, and Joe Torre's slow, so he's going to play it safe. And here's Davalillo with a 35, and that's a little ground ball by the first baseman. And first baseman's going to try to beat him to the bag, and no, he does not. So that's going to be an infield hit. Puts runners on first and second again. Seaver faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the second. He's got 1 out and 2 on here, and now it's Ted Simmons. Ted Simmons has a pretty good hitter card. Oh, boy. That may be extra bases. This is going to be trouble, and that's going to be a double. Davalillo's fast, first and second. Let's see what it says. This may score both runners. See if they're going to wave Davalillo home, and they do. And that's a 5-1 lead. Holy smokes. A double by Ted Simmons. And we can't pull Seaver just yet. I mean, I don't have pitching to go that many innings. Even though these guys during this period can go 3 and 4 innings. Let's see if Seaver can settle down here. He's really struggling. Here's Lee, and that's lifted to left. 2 outs. Left fielder is Jones. He settles under it. Squeeze it for the out. And Dow Maxfield. And there's a 44, and that is a pop-up center field. And that retires the side. But again, the Cardinals strike with 2 runs and 3 hits. All right. Joe Foy. And that is going to be an error roll. And that's a 62. We look at the randomizer, and that's a ground ball to short. And that's bobbled by Maxfield. Fires now to first, but not in time to get the speedy Foy. And you look at the scoreboard, is that going to be a hit or an error? And it's an E6. Hometown scoreboard gives them an error and not a hit. So I guess they wanted to give the Cardinals an error and not charge Royce with a hit. All right, so Grody. And that's a fly ball to center. And Weiss again with a potential error. That's a 52. Randomizer is a 21. That's a weird number. 21 with a runner on first, and they're fielding column 3. That's a first and second on error on the first baseman. F is going to score. They're waving Foy around, and he comes in to score. And stopping at second base is going to be Weiss. That's 2 errors in this inning. Sloppy play by the Cardinals. And it's now 5-2. Weiss is on at second base, and Tom Terrific is going to bat. We need Terrific to settle down, and a 29, that I think is going to be a strikeout. And a 29, no, it's a ground ball to the first baseman who flips to the pitcher covering. That's going to allow Weiss to go to third. And now it's Tommy Agee. And that's a deep drive off the bat of Agee. There you go, RJL. Way back. And that's out of here. Tommy Agee ties the ball game. Yes, sirree. His second home run of the day, and he's 3 for 3. That's exactly what we needed. But all these runs are going to be unearned. And he's going to drive in number 8 and number 1. All right. And this is 1970 acting like 2019. Buddy Howson. And that's a deep drive off Harrelson's card, but no way he's hitting one. And that's going to be run down by the center fielder. Who's out there? Davalillo. But the Mets come up with 3 runs. Oh no, they climb within a run. It's 5-4. I thought they had tied it. 5-4, 3 runs on 1 hit and a couple errors. All right, so here's Jerry Royce leading it off. That's a fly to left field. Towards the line is Jones, and he grabs it. Here is Lou Brock, who swings and misses at a Seaver fastball. 2 out. See if Seaver can have his first easy inning. And he strikes out Javier. 1, 2, 3 inning for Tom Terrific. Hopefully he settles down and gives us a couple innings. Here's Cleon Jones with a 55. That's a base hit. And Jones is on with a base knock. Tying run. Here's Clendenin. And he swings and misses. Going for the fences as usual. Ronnie Swoboda. And he pops one out. That's the catcher. And here's Foy. That is ball 4. That pushes the tying run to second base. We need a base knock from Grody, Jerry Grody. And that is a 35, and that is going to be a wild pitch or a pass ball. And they're going to call it both runners move up, and they're going to call it a pass ball. They're going to charge it to Simmons. So both runners move up on a pass ball. I'll put that's the same pass ball. And Grody now second and third. A hit here. Scores 2, and that is, nope. That is a 29, which is going to be an out. So again, the Mets fail to capitalize on a good opportunity. And that's a comebacker to Jerry Royce, who throws out Grody. That's going to be no runs on 1 hit. And in the bottom of the 5th, you got Joe Haig. And that's a deep drive. That's going to be off the wall. And Haig into second base with a leadoff double. He's average speed. Here's Joe Torre with a fly to right. And the right fielder's a 1. So this may be an automatic advance. But I'm not sure. He may have to be fast to advance. Let's see, a fly ball to right is a 1, and that is F to second. F on second goes to third. So he's not F, so that's 2 outs. No, that's 1 out. Excuse me. All right, let's see what Davalillo does. And that is a 26. He flies out to right. So lucky I already had that written there. That works out for me. All right, and here's Ted Simmons. 36, 33, that's popped up. It's going to be a shortstop. And that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit. We go top of the 6th. Al Weiss leading it off here. And he strikes out. Tom Seaver still in there in the 6th. And that is going to be a potential 65 is a 21. And the first baseman is terrible. So that is going to be an error on the first baseman. And that's the first, Haig's second error this game. 2 errors on the first baseman. How often do you see that? But Seaver, who's fast, is on at first. He's a tying run, and here's Tommy Agee. Can he hit 3 home runs? That's the question. And a 62 is a swing and a miss. So Royce gets him. Nice thing about playing 1970, you don't have to make a lot of pitching changes. All right, here's Harrelson, 23, and that is a 12, which is a grounded second base, fielder's choice, or force out, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, 1 left on that error. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Lee's up, and he grabs one to second. Waiting back now, Weiss charges. Sidearms it to first base and gets Lee. Maxville, and he rips one to short. Backhanded by Harrelson, long throw, and in time just gets the speedy Maxville, who's F, according to APBA. But showing off his cannon. Little Buddy Harrelson, 120 pounds. Weighs less than my wife. And but he's got a cannon there. All right, Jerry Royce here in the bottom of the 6th. Let's see. Jerry Royce has already faced 1827, so we're going to pull. We're going to pull Jerry Royce. We're going to pinch hit for him. I normally don't do that, but I already know some of these guys. We're going to bring in, we're going to bring in a guy named Ed Crosby. Ed Crosby's going to come in and pinch hit. He's a lefty. Pinch hitter. And here goes Ed Crosby. We don't know what he batted because they don't give us that information. You see, back in this is basically a Cold War game. McCarthy would not allow Dick Seitz, I think it is. He would not allow Dick Seitz to put any numbers because he thought that was some sort of code for the Russians. And so there was no stats allowed on the cards. Pitch from Seaver, and that's popped up. Third base, and that retires the side. This game was developed. This system has not changed since 1950. Always live in your life. Hope she don't hear that. Yeah, she better not hear me. 120 pounds shortstop. I think he was actually 140 pounds. So then he would weigh more than my wife. My wife is like 121 pounds, but she's like 5'8", like a model, like Cindy Crawford. Okay, so anyway, so Cleon Jones is up. There's going to be a new pitcher for the Cardinals. Who's that going to be? Who's coming out? Let's see if we can read his number. All right, that's going to be Frank Lindsay. The Lindsay man. Frank Lindsay's coming out. He's a Z and a D pitcher. And I don't care about what they are. I just bring them out. Whoever I look in the box scores and whoever they were using, that's who I use. Because a lot of times, during the season, these guys, they don't know they're going to be D pitchers. So why am I going to look for the best pitcher? I will bring the closer when it's closer time. And let's see who they have here. They have a guy named Taylor. He'll be in here. And Campese. But I didn't see Campese pitching during these games. Beauchamp hit, so he's going to be hitting. So I did see Lindsay and I did see Taylor. Both these guys are going to pitch. I did see them. I looked in 3 or 4 games during this period. And it's going to be Jones. Here he goes. 64, and that is a strikeout. So Lindsay comes in with his big D, carrying his big D on his shoulder. And here's Don Clendenin, and that is lined base hit. So Clendenin strokes a single. He wraps one into left center field, cut off by the center fielder, Vic Davalillo. I think Davalillo ended up with the A's, did he not? In the early 70s in those World Series. I believe he played with the A's. He was a kind of a platoon guy. And it's going to be Ron Swoboda, run around first. 1 out. Mets have the tying run on here in the top of the 7th. The score is 5-4 Cardinals. Seaver struggled early on. Second and third innings were tough innings for Seaver, but then he came on strong in the last 3. He allowed only 1 hit in 10 batters that he faced. He's still in there for now. Let's see. Seaver can go 38, so he's gone 27. No, 36. 36, 37. All right, Ronnie Swoboda. And that's ball 4. So that puts runners on first and second. Here's Joe Foy. Pitch to Foy, and that is ball 4. Let's go. No, that's 2 balls. And here's Foy again at 26 with first and second. What is that going to be? And the second baseman is what? An 8. So that's a pretty good second baseman. And that is going to make it a infield fly. Julian Javier right there. And he puts it away. The Mets, again, are struggling to get anybody across the plate. They've left a ton of players on base. Here's Jerry Grody against Frank Lindsay. from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. Here's the pitch. And that is grounded to short. And that is Maxwell flips to Julian Javier. And the Mets leave 2. No runs, 1 hit, and a walk. They leave 2. And again, the Mets fail to come through for Tom Terrific. Here's the top of the order. And that is a 36, and that's popped up. Left side of the infield, third baseman Foy is over. Foy played in the 67 World Series with the Red Sox. You know, Foy had a weight problem early on in his career. He was 5'9", 200 pounds. And he really struggled with his weight throughout his career. But he really, it took a while for him to get noticed. He was not a guy who, but he ended up being on the World Series Red Sox in 1967. Here's Al Weiss. And that is a drive off the bat down the line, and that is going to roll into the corner. And Weiss is speedy. He's an F. He's going to turn second. He's going to try for third. And here is the relay, not in time. It's a leadoff triple. For Al Weiss. Oh, wait a second. That's wrong. That was all wrong. Wait a second. That's Javier was up. All right, and that's going to be a triple for Javier. And that's trouble for Tom Terrific, because now you got the infield in. Now you're forced to bring the infield in. And we are going to bring in somebody else. We're going to bring in McGraw. Let's see. Do we have a lefty coming up? Yeah, we do have a lefty. So McGraw is going to face the lefty. And that's going to give him an A to try to get out of this jam here. We're not going to pinch hit because this is a guy who was starting at this time. We could bring in Beauchamp, but I don't know if Beauchamp is a righty because, let's see, we got a guy named Taylor, Carl Taylor. So Carl Taylor is going to come in. So we're going to get a pinch hitter, and then Taylor is going to stay into play. He's pinch hit, first base, and it's going to be so back. You see, there's 2 different rules in this booklet that I use. This one right here. I don't know if you got this one. This is a small little booklet. I just bought another one. I bought a 2000 set just this weekend. It also comes with another little booklet like this. And I know that this booklet has where it says if you bring in a lefty versus a lefty or a righty versus a righty, and he's in relief, he gets a boost, a 1 grade improvement. Now, I don't know if they went away from that. That's just a way of getting your splits in there. So I use that. But ultimately, I really don't care. But I do use the splits advantage. Like if I would have brought in if I bring in a righty to face Torrey, actually, then he would get that boost, the first batter. But anyway, not going to worry about that right now. Infield is in. Everybody's on the grass. It's Weiss and Harrelson and Clendenin and Foy all in on the grass. We've got to stop that run at home. See what happens. And a 36, and that is popped up. That is Taylor. 36 is a pop-up. With a runner on third, it's a 33 result. And that is a high fly that's going to carry. Looked like it was in the infield, but it's way back in center field. And that is going to be Javier is going to tag up. He's probably faking it. No, he's trying for home. Here's the throw from AG, and he is out. No safe. He dropped the ball. Grody dropped the ball. Sacrifice fly. Well, it looked like an infield pop-up kept on carrying into mid-center field. Javier, a fast player, tagged up, surprised everybody, and Grody dropped the ball. And so that's going to be an RBI. I write the second place batter, 2 with a circle. Every time I keep on changing the way I do these. All right, so it's going to be a 6-4 ball game, and that run is going to be charged to Tom Terrific. Here's Torrey. And that is a strikeout. And that's going to retire the side. So McGraw gives up that fly ball, and the Cards are able to score another run on that somehow, some way. Top of the 8th. All right, here goes Al Weiss, and that's a 62. Lindsay's still in there. It's a ground ball to the third baseman, Torrey. One down. Yeah, we had a double switch we did not mention, and it was Boswell who came in at third base, replacing Foy. So Boswell is batting. And here's the pitch from Boswell. And that's line base hit for Boswell. And that is going to bring the tying run to the plate for the Mets, 6-4 here in the top of the 8th inning. Tommy Agee got 2 home runs and a single and a strikeout. He's 3 for 4 today. We need him to hit another one. Oh, a 61. That's ripped to short. Oh, boy, that's tailor-made. And shortstop Maxwell flips to Javier. Throw to Taylor, scooped out. And it's a 6-4-3 double play inning over, just like that. No runs, 1 hit, none left. All right, here's Simmons against Tug McGraw. It's a strikeout. Second strikeout for You Gotta Believe. Although he hasn't said You Gotta Believe yet, because this is 1970. That's popped up to left field. Shallow left, in comes the left fielder. Jones, back goes Harrelson. Who's going to get it? Jones calls him off at the last minute. Here's Leron Lee in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs, and that is chopped to second. Weiss waits back now, charges over to first, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. That was a 5-second half inning. Once you learn all the rules, this is like the least stressful game. You know, there's some games I play and I start sweating when I get certain results. And it's like, oh, man, there's other games that I play when I'm learning a new game. I only play 3 innings at a time. I play 3 innings and I take a break. I go outside, I ride my bike, I do something else. But this game is the least stressful game that you can possibly play, even with Strat. You know, unless you're playing Strat Basic, but then you got to keep on looking at the X chart. And the X chart drives me crazy. But I still play Strat. You know, once I start playing it, then I get into it. And that's what happens. I start playing a game, I get into it, I can't stop. But you got to have your yellow shaker. If you don't have your yellow shaker, you're going to be in trouble with the hardcore, APBA, enthusiasts. You're going to be serious trouble. And there are groups that go around. There are patrols. They're called the Yellow Shaker Patrols, and they do visit different households. And you may disappear in the middle of the night if you do not use that shaker. That's a friendly notification, not a threat, of course. Just just informational. Buddy Harrelson. We are in the top of the 9th. This is last licks for the Mets. They're down by 2. And here we're going to bring in Chuck Taylor. And Chuck Taylor is a B. So I try to be fair. You know what I'm saying? He's a B, Z. And he's going to face Harrelson, who we're going to let him bat. And here's a pitch to Harrelson, and that is foul back. And this is grounded to third. Torrey up with it and throws out Buddy. Cleon Jones. And he swings and misses at a curveball. Nice curveball by Charles Taylor. So the Mets are down to the last out. So Seaver's going to get another loss. He's going to be 14-14. He struggled lately. In the last 3 games, Seaver's been struggling. Had a stretch there where he was unhittable. And here's Clendenin. See if he can. Oh, that's a deep drive. No doubt about that. Don Clendenin gets a hole in one, drives it deep to left field. Back goes Brock to the track to the wall. That's out of here. And he drives himself in, number 4. And now the Mets have climbed within 1 run. Ron Swoboda also has some power. Oh, and that's a strike 3. And the ball game is over. We're hoping for another 66. These guys only hit home runs on 66. That's it. They don't get 11s. They don't get 33s. They don't get 22s. They don't get any of that. So Mets in the ninth with 1 run on 1 hit, the big home run. The Mets hit 3 home runs today. Wow. Pretty impressive. The Cardinals hit none, but the Cardinals ended up winning it by a score of 6-5. And now we have some coloring fun. Very, very relaxing. You get all the hits, and it just makes it easy to read. And that's 4 right there. 5, 6, 7, and 8 hits for the Mets. I'll write that in. Mets made no errors. Yet the Cardinals made 3 errors, 2 on the first baseman, 1 on the shortstop. And let's see how many hits for the Cards. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So both teams had 8 hits. And Tom Terrific, let's see how he did. He went 6 in the third, 6.1. Gave up 6 runs, 6 earned runs. Hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits. Base on balls, 2 there. Strikeouts. I like to do the red for the strikeouts. That's a lot of fun to do as well. Got a couple here. And that's about it. So he only had 3 strikeouts in this game. Oop. No hit by pitch. And no wild pitch. Batters faced. He faced 27, 28, 29 batters. And he got to get pulled after that triple. That was it. Couldn't stand for any more. And who's going to get the victory here? This made it 6. 5, it was 6-4. 6-5. So it's going to be the starting pitcher, Jerry Royce, is going to get the victory. And Taylor will get a save. And that's about it, guys. Down with the shaker. All hail the Dice Towers. That's heresy. Sacrilege, my friend. Okay, you're seeing with the dark cult of APBA traditionalists, and that is very, very dangerous to do. There are members in Florida. They walk around in dark cloaks, and they dance in the swamps. And they go out and they go after people who do not follow the rules. So that's about it. This is CP Cards and Dice. This is APBA Baseball. I got a lot of stuff going on here. And I'm gonna play a couple of games. I want to finish out the season and see how I got to write this in. I'm doing all the stats by hand. I'm only doing 1 player, so it's easy for me to do. Here's my stats for Seaver. His ERA was 3.06 at this point, but it went up here a little bit. So this is going to be start number 31. And he's going to take the loss. It's going to be 0-1. Seaver went what? Seaver went 6.1, 866, 6.1, 866. And then he went 2-3. And that's it. So now I'm going to add it all up. 243.2, 170 hits, 99 runs, 91 earned runs, 66 walks, 1 89 strikeouts. And he is 14 and 14. Let's see what his ERA is. Let me pull up a calculator. Let's see. Calculator online. All right, we're going to go 91 times 9 into 244. 336 ERA. His ERA was around 283 4 games ago. So it's a 336 ERA. And, you know, APBA does not mess around. APBA has 4 basic grades. You got your A grade, which is, I think, like from about 2 to 250. 2 to 250. Then you got your B grade, which is about 250 to 3-ish, 325. You got your C grade, which is 325 to about 4. And then you got your D grade, that's anybody above. And then, of course, you're going to have, you know, the Z. The Z makes a difference because you're going to give up, you're going to have a lower ERA if you have that Z. If you have a W, your ERA is going to be a higher D. You know, so those are the facts. So, you know, if you had an ERA around 4, but you have to carry or if you, let's say you were 425, but you had a W, they may give you a C because they know that W is going to bring you up. They had a system, but believe it or not, this system is very accurate. And the reason it's accurate because it was never changed. It's based on basic math. You know, it's based on percentages, and that they stuck with that. They held on to that. They never really changed it for whatever. I think the last major change was like in 1958. I looked that up. My 10 Bears Den says my $10 plastic. You know what you can make a dice tower out of? I was thinking, get out of a Pringles can. I'm gonna make a dice tower out of a Pringles can. Listen, my connection is unstable, guys. Take care. This is CP Cards and Dice.